Hello. Okay, I feel like every time I go live, I am surprised that it works because I tried to go live earlier today and it didn't work. All right, so today, I have to talk kind of quiet because my daughter's in the next room sleeping. So today I'm doing a Q&A, and I'm doing a Q&A every month. So I got a really good question about shamanism, which I'm going to share with you. And this video is going to be really important because you're going to learn how to defend yourself against entities and dark forces. And this is energetic work. It's working with your energy body. So one of the questions that I received for this month's Q&A is, I'll read it here. How do you know you're speaking with another entity and it's not just your own mind coming up with things? I don't know how I am communicating with spirits. Right now, it feels almost like using a Ouija board. But if you want to push it, you can push it. All right, so this person is mostly in the email was talking about connecting with plant spirits, fungi spirits, and animal spirits. And this person is asking, I don't know how. Basically, I don't know how I'm communicating with these spirits. I don't know how the technology works. And it's important to understand how shamanic technology works because we need to be aware and we need to fortify ourselves so that we can be sure that what we're receiving is authentically of the light, right? We need to be sure that we're not projecting our ego. We need to be sure that we're not projecting. And then also we need to be sure that there are no dark forces, dark entities coming in to kind of usurp the communication that's happening, right? So the question is multifaceted. Like I said, they're mostly talking about plant spirits, fungi spirits, and animal spirits. And I just want to say that there have always been dark forces to defend ourselves against and fortify ourselves against. But now more than ever, it's important to fortify ourselves because entities and dark forces, they'll find their way into our consciousness any way that they can, even if it's while you're innocently sitting with a plant and not, going real deep. I mean, you can go deep with a plant, but if you're not going real deep into the other worlds, right? And when I say that there are these entities and dark forces, I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm telling you this so that you can be prepared, right? Because shamanic work is not for the faint of heart. It's not for people who are afraid. It's for courageous people. And that's always been the case. Now, my answer to this question is part of Pillar 2, which is ancient wisdom of the rise effect. Now, what most people who are dabbling seekers do is that they don't fortify themselves. They'll just go into the other world. They'll just be very open to whatever energies, forces, entities are willing to communicate. So they don't fortify themselves, and then they end up unconsciously opening up to frequency control, mind control, entities. But in this video, we're going to address that so that you can go from that dabbling seeker place to courageous wise woman. And we're going to address it through some spiritual fortification strategies and teachings. So here are the steps that I want you to take when you are undergoing shamanic work, and also as just your lifestyle and your daily practice, right? Because these forces, dark forces, aren't only waiting to come in when we are doing shamanic work. They're at play all the time. And so that is why it's important to continuously fortify ourselves, continuously cleanse our energy body, and be aware of what's going on. Hopefully it's light enough in here. So here are the steps that I want you to take. Before you do any shamanic work, you need to be a clear vessel. You need to be taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or else you're going to be projecting your human experience and any mind or frequency control that is affecting you onto your guides. And any messages that come through, you won't be able to interpret them properly because you'll be projecting onto your guides. And there's more to this. There's more to all of these teachings, and we can go deeper in the mystery school. But just know, being a clear vessel means this idea of the hollow bone, which I've spoken about at length before. So being the hollow bone physically, emotionally, and mentally, and spiritually. The next step is I want you to cast out and cleanse your space of any entities with cleansing and blessing herbs. And you can check out my smudge video to learn more about that. The smudge video is a really good resource. And if you're not familiar with blessing and cleansing herbs, you can work with something that is local to you and or something that your ancestors have worked with. So something that might be local to you, something that is local to me is juniper. Cedar is local to me. Sometimes I like to order resins online, and I also harvest my own resins. And you want to be sure that you're ethically harvesting resins, saps, and all plant medicines when you harvest them. Okay, the next step is to work with a psychic visualization, such as a violet flame or a golden egg of light, while you are protecting yourself. So when you do this, you are protecting your energy body. And the final step is connecting with the highest and best, connecting with any ascended masters, light bearers, light bringers, that you can be sure that they will always be authentic. They will always be of the light. So some examples would be Jesus Christ, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Archangel Michael, God, Great Spirit. There are so many ascended masters that you can work with. And Karen Roberts does a beautiful job of calling in ascended masters when she is doing energy work. You can listen to one of my podcast interviews with her. She calls in the highest and best during the podcast interview, and you can listen to that. Please don't copy, Karen Roberts' way of doing it. I want you to connect with your version of the highest and best. Who do you authentically connect with, deeply connect with? You want to call in those guardians, ask them to protect you and guide you in your shamanic work, okay? So when you're following these steps, you're going to have a much clearer foundation. You're going to come from a clear place. You're going to have a clear vessel. And that way you can be more certain that you are connecting with those benevolent spirits and those authentic spirits of the light, rather than your own ego, or rather than a dark entity, or rather than dark energies, dark forces. But if you're not committed to that step one, which is impeccable self-care, like I mentioned, so that you can be that clear vessel physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, then you might have a harder time, quite a bit of a harder time. And that's what we'll be working on in addition to all of these techniques in the mystery school. So, and we'll be talking a lot more about these entities and dark forces in the Sovereignty Masterclass, which is a part of the mystery school. The Sovereignty Masterclass is going to be going on next Thursday. So get on the wait list for the mystery school and you will find out about the Sovereignty Masterclass, and the mystery school is going to be opening up soon. So if you like this video, please like it, share it, leave me a comment, tell me what your takeaways are, share it with a friend, and I will talk to you next time.